Hi, I'm Ryan, and welcome to my coding bootcamp journey. In this series, I will share my experiences as I learned to code through Flatiron School's web development program. If you do know anyone that would enjoy this show, please send them to the link at the bottom of your screen. Again, I kind of do this in well, I don't kind of do this. I do this in four sections. First, I start off kind of with an overall update as far as what's been going on the past week. So I've been delving more into hashes. And just yesterday, as I record this, I also had a little code review. So I had a video conference with someone at Flatiron School and went over one of my labs in their Ray iteration section. And so mostly it was, hey, let's, talk about your code, kind of explain, line by line what happens, and let's run the method, and what we expect the output to be, and hey, we're going to refactor it to do these things, and kind of same deal. Let's go line by line and have you explain what each one does. And I had no idea what it entailed, because it was called an assessment. Um, obviously I was a bit, nervous about the whole thing, but yeah, it was very, very casual. It did definitely, well, I've never been, part of a technical interview, but, I'm assuming that, same, it'd be something similar to, not something similar, but it would probably involve that kind of stuff. Actually, being able to explain code, and and that kind of thing. So yeah, that was actually that was pretty enjoyable. Actually, it's for them to kind of go through my code, and make, if I'm sure if he saw any issues with it, he would have brought it up, saying, and actually at one point he said, yeah, over here you could actually just use this, because it returns this thing which you're calling in the line above it. So, there, so yeah. Then what did I struggle with this week? So this week I was iterating through hashes, and specifically for me, it was iterating through nested hashes that proved that was a bigger struggle for me. And no and figuring out how to only work with the necessary information to get the desired result, whether that's returning certain information, or printing certain information, or pulling certain information in, or whatever the case may be. And when you're talking, nest. Let me explain. Okay, let's take let uh let's take, like, documents, for instance. We're just talking, like, personal file system. So you have a full, whether it's your home directory or whatever. Let's say you have a folder named documents, and in there is another folder that's like, resume. Again, I'm just throwing out words, and that the resume folder is nested inside the documents folder, and you can only get to it by iterating into, whoa, hello, iterating it through the documents folder. So, or opening, or so that's kind of what I'm talking about with, when I'm talking about when something's nested. And so that was that was pretty challenging for me. And one thing I struggled with is that I kept having to remind myself that the laptop is no smarter than this bobblehead. in that the computer only does exactly what you tell it to. So that I've I found myself kind of struggling with that kind of in the background. And so what worked well? I started my own take on the Pomodoro technique. If you're not familiar with that, I will put a link in the in the description below, that kind of describes what it where you can find more information about that. But essentially, what it is not to work on a task for more than 25 minutes. Work on something for 20-25 minutes, then take like a 5 or 10 minute break, then go back, and that kind of thing. And I didn't stick with the time frame. I went with a different watermark in that I did kind of like a self check-in, in that I worked until I kind of felt like I had hit a bit of a wall, where I started getting that I feel stuck feeling. And so then I like I put the laptop to sleep, step outside for a little nicotine break, and just and just talk to myself about it, as far as other things that I could try, and that kind of thing, and just to get myself out, put myself in a different context. I mean, just stepping away from the computer, putting myself in a totally different environment, where I'm actually putting on my coat and going outside, and just to give my brain other stimuli, so that it realizes, oh, I'm no longer working on this thing, I'm doing this other thing, and it kind of goes into like a different like process. That's best way I could describe it. So that's worked really well, because then the coding part isn't like right up here in the front of my brain. It kind of goes towards the background, because now I'm focusing on I'm focusing on different things. So one reason why I started doing this is because of the way our brains process new information. Like, if you think about daily things, like tying your shoes, and put and all just the basic mundane stuff we do day to day. That Well, for instance, most people can't remember what they had for lunch yesterday, but they know exactly, like, where people can recount with a lot, with colorful detail, where they were when 9/11 happened, and that was 18 years ago now. Okay. Now I'm starting to feel old. So the one, so I try to introduce like new I periodically introduce new stimuli, just to kind of keep my brain sharp, I guess. Just so that it doesn't like feel monotonous, and that kind of thing. And so so far it's worked. And and also I have to give I have to give more props to the help system. They've all been very helpful. Durr. Um, a lot of times, actually, I kind of scroll. Well, as I mentioned in the last video, that they also make the previously the I mean they make the questions that other people have asked accessible, so you can see, when someone's asking a question, you can see it in real time, how they're you can participate in the conversation if you want, and all that. And they also make the resolved questions viewable. So I've actually gotten a lot of help just from other people asking questions on the same issue. Then I pull up their code, and usually there's like two or three lines that they use that I was like, whoa, I never thought of that. Let me use that in what I'm trying to do, and that's really helped. So I haven't needed to actually contact an instructor for help on everything, but yeah, that's so yeah, that's one thing that really worked. And what am I looking forward to? So finishing up the pre-work. So I'm currently at 86%. So almost there. And I start my class starts on the 11th, March 11th. So I'm fairly confident that I will get I'll be able to work through everything before then. So yeah, I'm definitely excited on getting this finished. And also, I'm also looking forward to copying all of my lab work locally. So normally whenever I code on my side little projects or whatever, usually I do write it locally with Visual Studio Code. I haven't been doing that on this one. They have a web IDE, and I didn't want to go through all the rigmarole to get my local environment kind of matched up with their particular environment with the pre-work. So I was just, all right, let's just set up the web IDE just so I can get off the ground and get going on this. So yeah, I'm that is an odd thing to be looking forward to, but there you have it. So yeah, that's that's what I have this week. I do thank you for watching, and if you want to stay up to date, please like and subscribe, and please feel free to check out the rest of this series. And if you do have any comments or questions, please post them below, and I'll see you in the next chapter.